You know this world has gone insane. It is absolutely no secret. But tonight, Saturday night, you are about to experience the true measures of what that insanity can bring you. Tonight, you are about to see Bald and Bonkers, the one-of-a-kind show that delves deep into the world with no holds barred. Now, meet your hosts, Dakota Franson, specialist of the strange, and Christopher Mule, the UFO fanatic. Now, give it up, and let's see what these two idiots can bring you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Saturday night. We're back, and it's been so quick, you know, it's just flew in. We are joined tonight by my lovely special co-host next to me. See, Dakota, you think that's niceness of the other guys? And we're also joined by, is it Taryn?
Taryn. But like I said, you can call me T. It's okay.
T. I'll call you T then, because it makes
T is easy, right?
I know I'm terrible, everybody. I apologise. I'll call you T. And it's Paranormal Brew. So we'll start chatting a little while about some stuff, guys, but we're just going to let the chat fill up a wee bit. But I noticed it's acting kind of weird, Dakota. Do you notice that? The kind of the chat is acting weird.
Yeah, it's a cyber warfare going on with the whole Russia-Ukraine situation. There's people getting cornered on TikTok of all places just because they spoke out against Putin.
Yeah.
They got broadcast so many places.
Yeah, because seemingly YouTube is getting attacked because they've removed the, what do you call it, the propaganda basically from Putin. So we'll just need to see what happens. So guys, we're going to interview Paranormal Brew tonight. We'll call you T because I'm terrible at pronouncing names.
Yeah, you can say T. Yep.
T, no problem. So we'll give it a couple of minutes and we'll let it fill up. We've got one there watching there, and we've got 5, I think, in Facebook, have we not? We've got 5 in Facebook.
Well, what's say in the thing? So I think all social media platforms are getting hit right now.
Yeah, they are. They're getting bombarded because there's actually a big channel. I'll not mention it. I was watching it last night, and they've got something like 500,000 subscribers, and they had 2 people in the chat.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was just
I think it's like it's probably not wanting people to talk about anything. So it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much going on cyber wise with cyber attacks, and then people counter cyber attacking and trying to block things, and you don't know what it's going to affect.
Yeah, it's madness. The world has went, man, guys. Listen, I would also like to say to the podcasters out there, we are running a is it Save the Children thing, Dakota?
Yeah, we are. The link will be in the description, so you can be able to donate to our Save the Children page to try to help the people affected by the Ukraine crisis. Because let's face it, this thing's not going to end anytime soon.
No, I think it's going to get worse before it gets better, to purely honest with you. So this is getting uploaded to obviously all the networks we'll tell you about, so you'll be able to go back and listen to this. You'll be there forever. So T, Paranormal Brew.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? And
sure. So I'm sorry, I'm just sharing to all my pages. I apologize. I'm not being rude. I'm just
fine.
I want to share.
We're trying to get some more people in here.
That's what I did.
I'm just sharing. All right, so now let me get back in. So I'm here. So I actually I got into the paranormal probably shortly after my first visit to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, in the United States, which is around about 2007. I think I was and I guess what I would consider myself, knowing what I know now, I guess an enthusiast at that time.
Yeah.
However, I was afraid of it. I was interested, but I did not want to go there. So I was watching TV, and I was, reading books, and all that, this and that. And then I joined a group, and that was like 3 months of training, and that was intense training. I mean, we trained on everything: cemetery cleanups, as far as like the learning like what types of stone require what types of material to be able to clean them safely without ruining them, all kinds of stuff. And then preternatural training. And that's when I decided I want nothing to do with anything remotely close to anything negative case-wise whatsoever.
Right.
I said, I want Casper only. You guys can deal with everything else. So that's it.
Casper the friendly ghost, Oh my God.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I ask you, have you ever experienced anything negative?
Negative, meaning, I had so I believe in some dreams, and then some. I know that some are, whatever, just a dream. But I did have a dream one time, and this is crazy for me to talk about this, but I'm just going to talk about it.
That's why we're called Bonkers.
I don't bring it up often. I think I've only said it on maybe 1 or 2 other shows. But I did have a dream one night that I was in a house with a woman, 2 children, and I was protecting them from a demon. And I say demon because in my dream that's what it looked like to me. Nice. And I saw this thing. I knew its name, and I was protecting these, and I fought this thing off, and it left. However, in my dream, I was like, oh, I know it's going to the next house. So I told them, I'm like, you guys will be okay. I'll check on you in a week. I have to go on. Like, I was like this demon vigilante in my dream or something, right?
Right, yeah.
I'm like following this thing. Never made it in my dream, never made it to the second house. But I'm going to tell you, this dream was, and I'm making light of it. However, it was intense. It was so intense. The feelings that I had during the dream, the feelings I had when I woke up, it was crazy the way it affected me for the next week. To the point where even when I was walking to the bathroom, every single muscle in my body hurt. Like even when I was walking and like my boobs were bouncing, like my chest muscles up here, everything hurt as if and I hadn't worked out in a long time, like at that point. Yeah. So it was almost like I went to the gym for 7 hours and nonstop weight trained. And I was that bad for about 4 or 5 days. So to me, that's the closest thing that's ever kind of, there was a thin line there.
It makes you wonder if it's something that you might experience in the future.
I hope not.
What do you think, Dakota?
I hope not.
I think she's one of the lucky ones, all things considered, if that's all she had.
Yeah.
It was scary. Trust me. It was very scary. The only thing with that is because some of my dreams, like I've had dreams where I've dreamt of what could be interpreted as natural disasters. So real live ones. So like I had a dream where I was in this glass house in the middle of the ocean. It was nighttime. There was about 15 people inside this house with me. And it was just one big square. So the furniture was like all in the middle of this square glass house. And I kept telling them there's a big wave coming. We have to get cover. We have to try to get out of here. But there was no land anywhere in sight. So I don't know what I was thinking, but I was like telling them we have to prepare for this huge wave. It's coming. It's going to take us out. We got to figure out what to do. And like 3 seconds later, all of a sudden, here comes this. I mean, the wave was humongous. And it took it out, and I woke up. Well, 3 days later, that huge tsunami happened.
Really?
Yeah. Long dream short, I had a dream that I was at my old work, and my boss was putting golf ball pins. You know,
Yeah.
he walked around the yard outside, was putting golf, and he made like a square, and then he goes step back, and all of a sudden the where he put the pins, all the earth just started to like slide down and like move, whatever. 3 days later, that huge mudslide in California happened. So it's like these little things happen. I had a dream that the town I live in Mount Ephraim, and anybody can Google it. First of all, New Jersey isn't one to have a lot of natural disasters, you know, and we don't have a lot of tornadoes. We don't have a lot of, you know, we do have, the storm stuff, but not too much tsunamis and earthquakes and stuff like that. And the town I live in, I can't even, probably a handful of times, a tornado has actually touched down in this town. And I had a dream that I was looking out my brother's back window, and I saw a tornado touch down, and I woke up. There's other stuff that happened. However, a week later, there's a tornado touching down in the town that I'm living in. So it's like things like that. So that's the only reason why with that dream I had the same intensity as like all these other dreams that I've had, that kind of
it makes you wonder if how can I put this? Do you have any like psychic abilities? We see when you go something, do you pick up on the entities at all?
I can be clairaudient, so I hear disembodied voices that actually gets picked up on the recorder. So because I record, I don't do burst sessions or anything like that when I do EVPs. I record the entire time. So there's not anything not caught on my recorder, no matter what's going on.
That's fascinating. What do you think of that, Dakota? What's your opinion there?
It does seem like she does have some sort of disposition to psychic ability that maybe just waiting for its wake-up call.
Yeah. I mean, so I'll say, like, if I hear, like, what are you doing? And I say, I just heard, what are you doing? Did somebody say that? No. But then you listen back on the recorder, you hear the EVP, you hear me say, I heard it. And you hear everybody say, you know what I mean? So that will get picked up. Now, that's not 100% of the time, but it'll happen maybe once or twice at a location that I'm at, but not constant, If I allow myself to really take in the place, I can say skeptically, I have been able to pick up on certain people that may have been in that location at one point or time, and it's been confirmed that, and me not knowing any, like, can you not hear me?
No, it's not that. It's just I heard a man's voice.
Something's coming through.
I'm not hearing a man's voice.
Did you not hear that? That's
I was actually
crazy.
hearing static coming through too.
That is so crazy. I don't know if anybody in the chat or anybody in the podcast could listen back to this. What time is this about? What about? I would say 12:40 it happened, I would say. And we're 13:30 the now. So that's so weird, that, because it was just when just as you were finishing that there.
Really?
It was the voice. I heard it, and it was a kind of guttural voice. That's so strange, that.
Oh wow. I'll have to listen back, because I can't hear it.
You've got the headphones on. It's maybe because
that's why I said bust out the good headphones, because I was hearing things.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody in the chat or anybody in Facebook heard that, because I heard it at the start of the night, but I thought it was just somebody maybe in another room. But
I'm downstairs, so nobody's around me.
That is so strange.
Yeah.
That is so strange. Can I ask you, what's the best piece of evidence you've ever captured?
The picture of the apparition of a soldier on the railroad cut in Gettysburg.
Right. Ooh.
It's a full-bodied apparition. You can tell it's well, I don't want to say you can tell, because there's skeptics out there that will argue it, and that's fine. So I'm just going to say what is believed to be the apparition of a Confederate soldier on the railroad cut in Gettysburg. It looks like, in my opinion, I do believe that's what it is. And I only did that after I had the photo analyzed by two separate people that do that. One would be the International Museum of Spirit Investigations. They're no longer open, but they were. And Mark Nesbitt, who he's a Gettysburg, but he's a historian, and who he would be like a really good guest for you guys to have on. But he's a historian, and he's also he's an author. He writes books called Ghosts of Gettysburg.
Yes.
And he's got it all. He's a historian, he's a skeptic, he's a paranormal investigator, so anyways, he looked at it as well. Once they got back to me, and in their opinion, 99.99999, almost 100% sure it's an apparition, then that's when I said, okay, I feel comfortable putting this out there, so that's what it looks like. I mean, it's the coolest thing that I think I've ever captured. And it is the only apparition photo that I have since 2009, I've been investigating.
Well, you don't know it. I mean, you've got lots to investigate. You were telling us before we came live tonight, you've got lots of interesting places to go. You never know what you're going to capture. You never know what you're going to see. Dakota, would you like to ask some questions?
Sorry, I was just thought I heard more voices trying to come through there, so I lost my train of thought. And if it is what I think it is, I better not say it because we're doing a special for it tomorrow. But out of the locations, what you were telling us before the break, what one are you looking forward to the most?
I want to say, geez, I don't know, because they're all awesome. I mean, probably Kreischer Mansion, only because I'm not Kreischer Mansion. I already did Kreischer Mansion. We're doing Strauss Mansion. I apologize. Strauss Mansion. Strauss Mansion, only because I'm a part of a group called Paranormal Peaches, and there's 8 women of us, and we're like best friends, but we also investigate together. We party together. We do everything together. So it's going to be with them, and they're my most favorite people in the world. So I love getting together with them and investigating and hanging out. So that's the one I'm looking forward to as far as doing the investigations. But definitely looking. I'm not looking forward to Hinsdale because although it is with my peaches again, I've heard a lot of not good things about Hinsdale. So I don't know why my friends would want me to go there.
What kind of things happen? What kind of things happen at that place?
I just heard. I have never been there, so I'm not sure. But everybody that has been there that I know really leaves there with not a great experience. Like, and they say the outside is worse than the inside. So I'm not quite sure what. If you remember in the beginning where I said I like Casper.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why my best friends are trying to get me to go there, but or forcing me to go there, should I say?
Yeah.
Because they said if I don't, they're going to kidnap me.
I mean, eventually you are going to run into a negative spirit. It doesn't matter where you go; you're going to run into a negative one.
Yeah.
But I suppose if you just
negative, I can deal with somebody with a forgive my French, but I can deal with an asshole spirit. You know what I mean? If it's like, just somebody that's like, not nice. And they're just being, I can deal with that. I don't want to take it to the level where they were never of this earth and they're being, that's what I'm talking about. I don't want anything on that side of it. I can deal with, I'm a tough chick. I have 6 brothers. My dad was a cop, so.
I
got stuff to do.
Where do you see your channel going in the next couple of years? Where do you see it going?
I'm not sure. I mean, I have, I'm on, I'm working with Brian with Parapost. So I'm there. Also I own part of BB3 TV, which is another streaming network. And Paranormal Brew is my baby though. So, that is what I take care of first. It's first on my list as always. And I have been in talks with somebody to do a coffee for Paranormal Brew. I know. It's weird to me because I'm like, who's going to buy Paranormal Brew coffee? But I guess
it's perfect. Everybody's sleep deprived in this field. It's perfect.
We're actually sponsored by. Would you go?
No, I was about to say we're actually sponsored by an energy drink company. So
yeah. I mean, we need it. Coffee is like importante in this field, So, also, SRS Paranormal. I've been in the talks with them. Like I said, we're doing like a documentary out there in Indiana at Randolph County. But again, that's all Paranormal Brew. It's not me, like it's I just want it to be to a point where I want everybody to just like to watch my show. You don't have to watch it all the time, but I would like, and for people to learn stuff about, if it just takes one person watching and they learn something, then other than the fake stuff they see on TV, minusing ghost hunters, because I love ghost hunters. I think they're awesome.
Me and Dakota and a lot of other people talk about this quite regular. I mean, you'll get a lot of channels out there with like millions of subscribers, thousands and thousands of subscribers, but they fake everything, right?
Yeah.
And then when you get the real channels like yours, T, and you get the real channels like Dakota's and other people that we know that actually do really good ghost investigations.
Right.
I mean, they don't get many subscribers, and it's people that fake it. It's getting all the acknowledgement. I mean, you just need to look at the channels that are out there, but it'll happen one day. I mean, it's taken us a long time to get to 1,000 subscribers.
It does. YouTube is tough. And I also heard that they, YouTube will go in, and if somebody doesn't watch your channel or check on it or whatever, they just remove a subscriber.
Yep. What they do is if they've not hit your bell in your channel, that's no count. Even if they're subscribed, it's not counted as a subscriber, so you lose it.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy what they do. I don't know. I'm not good. I'm not good with like all that stuff. So I did have a Twitch, but I couldn't figure out how to use it. So I deleted it.
Dakota's the Twitch. You use Twitch, didn't you? There, Dakota.
Yeah, I heard afterwards. After I deleted it, I heard you have to actually like download or say like select something to say download your live videos, or else it's just like the live recording and then it goes away. But that's what I was doing. I was like going live, and I'm going back. I'm like, where the heck are my videos? And they're not there. So I was like, screw this, delete, and then
I better go check something.
And then go ahead.
I was just going to say hello to the people in the chat really quickly who we all got in there.
Oh yeah.
Dakota, we've got half paranormal.
Yeah, hi Hafren Paranormal. I know them. They're
Parapost Network. We know who that is. Brian. Oh, Brian. Where else we go? Phoenix. And I think that's that. Who's that?
The knowledge within.
The knowledge within. Hey, Lewis.
They're sending you unsolicited pictures again. There you go.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Mark.
Hey there. So, what's your next investigation? The next one coming up. The first one you're going to.
I think, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this 100%, but it might be White Hill Mansion, but I'm not 100% sure. If that doesn't happen, then it's Strauss Mansion. That's April 23rd.
Yep. Cool. Would you like to ask?
Yes. So going back to Paranormal Brew, what was the inspiration for you to start it up?
The shows on TV. Well, it first started, and it's really bad. So I'm just going to say disclaimer. Anybody that has the want to, which I don't know why you would, but to go back and see like 2017 Paranormal Brew episodes. Because at first it was just on radio stuff and like internet stuff. And then I discovered Facebook. So that's what I'm talking about. Like our first Facebook Live, which was like 2017 17 or 18. It's horrible. It's horrible. No idea what I was doing. But we decided to do it because we would have some of the best conversations just hanging out. And I'm like, we should be recording this and people should be listening to this because all people know is was on Ghost Adventures at that point, and in my opinion, that's not right, and there's maybe a 13-year-old watching it and thinking, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to go run around a cemetery and say, throw things at me and, destroy and lay on stuff that I'm not supposed to lay on. And, I didn't want that. So we just decided to do that. And then it kind of geared more towards getting people educated. So the guests I was getting on, because at first we really didn't have guests. We were just like talking.
Yeah.
And I started getting guests on. And and the guests that I would get on would be to show people that we're, paranormal's, we're not gimmicky. Because by that point we started to get this like made fun of type of a, I always say my boyfriend's not into it. He looks at it like, or a Harry Potter club or something.
Oh, wow.
Like not knowing, like he doesn't realize how serious it is, or how, I don't know what to say, but, so that's why I did it. And then the more and more I went, the more guests I was getting on. And,
there you go. You've just gained yourself a new subscriber. Phoenix has just subscribed to you.
Oh, thank you, Phoenix. Thank you.
There you go. So, can I ask you a question? Do you believe in UFOs? Have you ever done any UFO stuff?
I've never done UFO stuff. I have had UFO people on my show, guests on my show.
Yes.
Peter Robbins was one. I also had Justin Bamforth, who is not necessarily aliens, I would say, but more Men in Blackish, extraterrestrials, stuff like that. I believe that there are other life forms out there. Do I think they're little green men with big black eyes? No.
That's been used a lot. Let's face it. That's been used. They don't look like that. No way of them.
Not all of them, but
do I think they care what's going on here? Nope.
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
I mean, they might be curious how we're curious of the spirit world. Maybe the UFOs are the spirit world. Maybe that's what it's another dimension. Who knows?
Well, that's what they say. That's what they say. The afterlife as a different dimension. As a different dimension. I mean, what's your feelings in the afterlife, T? What is your feelings? What do you think happens when it's your time?
I honestly, I think that I hope you get to hang out with people that your loved ones, hope either you get to see them or whatever. However, I always say that my heaven, if you will, quote unquote, if you want, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to be at the Eisenhower farmhouse in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, my spirit, and I'm going to be haunting the F out of that. And I'm going to be living there. And anybody that comes, I said, it is the perfect place. It's gorgeous. It's in Gettysburg. It's open to tourists. So you have visitors every single day. You wouldn't be bored. And you can have fun and mess with people, and it's fully furnished.
I can see your point.
Fully furnished, has animals. People clean up after your house. People do the yard work. I'm just be sitting back chilling, drinking my Paranormal Brew.
That's what I was going to ask you. How did you come up with that name?
Paranormal Brew?
Yeah.
We were trying to think of something that kind of, because when we were together, we were either drinking beer or we were drinking coffee.
Right.
So we just it kind of stemmed from there. And then the guy that started it with me actually was the one that came up with the Paranormal Brew part, and put it together. So I was like, that's awesome.
It is catchy. I must admit, it is very, very, very catchy. So who would you like to, what famous individual in it, the ghost hunting, would you like to interview on your channel? What would be the number one there?
honestly.
Yeah.
See, it's hard because I would want to have Zach Baggins on only because.
A handsome man.
No.
Oh God.
No. He
Yeah,
can keep his medium. He can keep his medium shirts and that stuff. I think he's, ridiculous. However, I would want to have him on only because I'd want to know things that, because I'm a very honest person and open, and I'll ask whatever, and I'll tell him whatever. But I would want it would be one of those intense interviews that neither of us are happy.
Yeah.
I would invite my good friend Kenny Biddle on the show, so that my friend Kenny Biddle, who Zach Baggins has blocked on all accounts, to come on, because Kenny would like to. I would like that to happen. That whole both of them knowing, and they come on a show together, and it's my show, and I'm just sitting there like, ding, ding, ding. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go on.
I would like to see that. I would pay to see that, because I think that would be one awesome show. I mean, I know I will admit this to the subscribers here. I used to watch Ghost Adventures all the time. I thought it was great, right? And then it started to veer off slightly. Every house he went to was possessed by a demon.
Every time.
And yeah, every time. That's not what it's like in real life. I don't think every location has got a demonic entity living in it. You know?
It's rare.
And yeah.
Very rare.
Yeah. Yeah. Dakota?
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask Dakota.
I was going to say, and that brings me to the reason why I now do what I do. My episode with Jason Hawes, because a lot of people look up to Jason Hawes, and so for him to come on and we spoke about demons, we spoke about that, and he said, in my 30 years of doing this, you know what I mean? He's like, it's so rare. And I'm like, thank you so much for saying that, because you have poor families that think that just because something has a little bit much too energy for their energy, they think it wants to kill them or push them down the steps, or they threw a glass at my head and thank God I bent over. I'm thinking, I tell them all the time, if there is something that you can't see and it wants to hurt you, it's going to be successful.
Oh yeah.
No matter how you look at it. I mean, you can't see it. So if it really wanted to hurt you, it would.
See, I've actually I know some people that they're totally into Zach Bagans. They're into the Ghost Adventures. They think it's the best. They think it's 100% real. And they actually go at night to haunted locations looking specifically for darker entities.
Yeah.
And they've not been successful. I just think it's a bad thing, because the younger generation are watching this kind of stuff and they're thinking, oh, look at that heat, it's cool, let's go and find a demon, let's go and piss it off and see what it does. I've met people that have came to me and they've says to me, I've got a demon, and I says, what do you mean you've got a demon? Oh, I've got a demon. So how do you know it's a demon? Oh, I seen a shadow. Look, if you had a demon, you would know you had a demon. And this is what's wrong with all this fake stuff on YouTube, and not just YouTube, other platforms. It's damaging a lot of the real people like you and Dakota and a lot of the other people out there that actually do ghost hunting. That is.
Yeah. I mean, you have to remember too. I mean, the things that I have experienced when I was with when I was with the ghost hunting group I was with. There was a team of about 30 of us, and there was probably about 10 that were on our special response team. So if we were to get any cases in that were anything remotely leaning towards that, those were the people that went out and handled them. But 9 times out of 10, the person that's being affected in a home is not going to tell anybody they're the one being affected. You're not going to know who it is. They're not going to ask for help because they don't want help. They're not going to, not them, but whatever is affecting them is not going to say, hey, I have something going on over here, because they don't want to. That it wants to stay, it wants to thrive, it wants to feed off of the negativity that's going on. I mean, that's how it survives. So it's not going to do anything to prevent that from happening. So and it's the same way I think about when we used to have our group and people will come in and be like, oh, I want to be on the special response team. What? Nobody wants to do that. Who wants to do that? I know that the people that are in those types of and deal with those types of cases, it was just a calling for them. They were the ones that are supposed to be there. Nobody joins anything like that willingly.
I hope I'm getting back into the ghost hunting again, but because of this pandemic, staying a lot awake at, to try to get back into it and stuff. I hope I never encounter a demon. I pray to God that I never encounter one, because they're very rare. But Dakota here, he's a much better experience than me. What's your thoughts on this, Dakota?
I have to say, those of you who purposely try to look for demons are some of the biggest idiots out there.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this as someone who's done exorcisms, who's almost been killed a few times because of a case. I've had something ambush me in my own bed, lift me up by my neck, try choking me to death because I exorcised it out of someone and it did not like me. Mind you.
And you weren't letting it in.
Mind you, I'm 6'7" and almost 400 pounds. And this thing lifted me up like a rag doll.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube and they're out there and you'll get them, and it's deliberately designed for the younger person to watch. And it's like, oh yeah, you want to go and find the demon, you want to get the Ouija board, the spirit board out.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You want to go into the graveyard, and I'm like, oh no. If you get an attachment, horrible. That's
right. But they don't know any better, right? Because they're watching what they see on TV and they don't know any better. And then, and again, anybody that wants to do that is there's something wrong. There's something you don't know. Like my old boss used to like bust my chops about it. He'd be like, you want to do the Ouija board at my house and we can like summon up a demon? I'm like, all fun and games. All fun and games until some shit goes down in your house. And then you want I'm not doing it.
All it takes is to open the door, no close it.
Yeah. I'm like, shut up, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't do that with me. No, stop asking me. Don't even include me in that sentence. I'm like, go somewhere else, and he was a doctor. So, he was like, and I was like, oh, I'm going on the ghost hunt. He's like, oh, is it one of those like real mean? He didn't really know like the terminology and stuff, but he was like, is it one of those ones with the horns? I'm like, no. He's like, oh, I don't want to go then. I'm like, I wasn't inviting you to go. He's like, I only want to go if it's something that's like going to like, what you see like in like on TV and stuff, like the bad stuff. I'm like,
I'd be questioning that doctor if he's saying he only wants to go if something's horny.
That's it. Horny. That was funny. That took a second.
Oh my god! I just got that.
That was great.
See, honestly, the ghost hunting community has taken a big hit because there is a lot of people doing this out there. I've watched a lot of your videos, T, and I've watched a lot of Dakota's videos, and that's what I love about it. I like watching real ghost hunting. You know? But it's when they start, you can actually see the strings and that, and they're lifting the cups.
Oh my god!
I know. I know. Yeah.
When I investigate, if I'm gonna do, I just realized that I can go through StreamYard. I realized that when I did Kreischer Mansion. But from now on, I'm living if I can. If we have electricity and we have all that stuff, I'm gonna go live the entire investigation.
That would be good.
Which I did with Kreischer Mansion. It was 5.5 hours long, and I didn't stop. I'm showing how we're investigating. I'm showing the equipment people are using. I'm showing how they're using it. Whether it's right or wrong, it's still there. Nobody's faking anything that I'm with. Nobody's trying to fake anything. Nobody's. We're just investigating the way that we know, or they know how to investigate, or the equipment that they use. So,
yeah, I've seen better evidence in ghost hunting from this community than I've seen in any of the top paranormal shows.
Yes, true.
Yeah, it was on the other week there. We had the Iron City Paranormal, and they caught some amazing thermal images. That blew me away.
Yeah, I would love to get a thermal. I'm not big. I'm not big on equipment.
So Zach Bagans has got loads of money. You know, the networks are paying him. You know.
Yeah. He don't buy that equipment.
Yeah. I mean, this is, you know.
Yeah. I'm not big on equipment, so I use my recorder. I should use. I mean, I bring my camera, but I don't necessarily drag it out, only because I've learned that photography, photography pictures are so hard to come by. So, I mean, if I have it recording, if I have it videotaping, bringing a camera to me is kind of, I mean, I have a full spectrum camera, which takes amazing pictures during the day and stuff like that. I love it.
Yeah.
But as far as using it for ghost hunting, I have thousands and thousands of dollars of equipment, when I first from when I first started, and I'm just literally giving stuff away because I don't use it.
You must admit the ghost hunting equipment is expensive.
It's expensive. It sure is.
Oh, yes.
And I really don't think, if something is made for ghost hunting, I
went to put that up at the same time as you, Dakota. There's a question for you there.
Yes.
What's your opinion on the paranormal apps?
Again, I mean, it's an app. It's something that's been made for ghost hunting. The only one that I'm like trying to learn about a little bit is that necrophonic one. Because that just came to my attention about this app, necrophonic. But again, it is an app.
Yeah, I will admit I've used it a few times, but I would never use it in the house.
Yeah, I mean,
because
you can't rely. You can't, even if you get something, you can't put it in as evidence. Like, even if you think you have something from it, it's an app. So
I know that is the problem. I mean, there's a lot of channels out there that use like ghost boxes, and there's one in particular, but I'm not going to mention him. And he says he's speaking to Robbie Williams, he's speaking to Michael Jackson, and all that the day after they died and stuff like that, and you're like, they things can be programmed. That's what a lot of people don't realize. They can be programmed. But I will say that necrophonic app is good. What do you think?
I'm still testing it, and I'm still reading about it, because I don't know why, it just seems like I've heard, so the first time we used it in Gettysburg, the videos are on my YouTube. Again, the whole time we're using it, we're not sure, about it. But, my friend Matt was like, how many fingers am I holding up? 4. Then he's like, how many fingers am I holding up? 2.
Mm-hmm.
What color is my shirt? And it was blue at the time of year. Blue. Like clear as day. So for me, I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? How is that thing answering how is it answering the questions?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
strange.
So there was a couple of things, and there was another video I had that's up on my YouTube. We were at the bridge, and I can't remember word for word, so I apologize, but it was something, some people call it Suicide Bridge, but it is, it's in Gettysburg. You walk past Sachs Bridge, and it's called the John Eisenhower Bridge, for real. And supposedly there was like something, it's not that high, so nobody could commit suicide on that bridge, like if they were, but anyway, my friend Matt was going towards the edge of it, and you hear the thing go, "Don't jump." It's just like all the stuff happened with it, that it's like, I don't know. I'm like, why is it being so in our business? Like,
I've used it. I will admit that app is a wee bit spooky, because I went to a castle, and I turned to it when I went, where am I? And I went, castle. No. When I go to it, and it's like, how does it know you're there? I mean, I turned my phone on to flight mode.
Yeah.
So it's no using GPS. It's no using.
From what I hear too, there's no pre-program. Oh my goodness. Word.
That's right.
Is there programmed word? I heard there's no pre-programmed words in it.
No.
it's literally just a bunch of sounds, and the second you start hearing full on words, full on sentences, that's what's supposed to be when you know you got something happening.
Yeah. And it was insane in Gettysburg. Like, it was just everything. And I'm like, there's got to be something with this. You know, so that's been the only app really that I've and I'm not saying that I vouch for it or if I say that it's legit, you know what I mean? Because it's still an app at the end of the day. So to me, it's like,
Do you use the K2?
No.
No, you don't use a K2 meter? No.
I have one. So, I don't use it.
You never use it, no? I always find it quite interesting because Dakota's is always like going off in the background when we talk about certain things, you know, and it's always going off. I actually just ordered a new one because my one broke, but I find it quite an interesting thing because I've went to like maybe an old graveyard, right, and I've sat it on top of a gravestone and there's been nothing went off, and you walk away and it'll start flashing, and it makes you wonder what's making it flash. It makes you wonder, is it a signal that's maybe from a cell phone or something like that in the distance?
Yeah.
But it makes you wonder, because I've been to locations where there's no electrical grid whatsoever. And you could walk around there in the daytime and there's nothing, but at night the thing will be staying in the green.
I'll tell you, I do. Yeah, I mean, I do like the tri-field meter. That's one thing that I do like, the tri-field meter. I also I have a train that's a little trigger prop.
Right.
I will use that. I can't, it's hard for me to connect with a spirit. So let's just say I'm in Gettysburg, because you're going to automatically assume it's going to be somebody from that time period, or you know. But trains have been around forever. So it's easier for me to say, can you go pick up that train, or, you know, touch that train? Then can you touch that little black thing with the silver thing sticking out of it? And, you know, I'm not going to just walk up and touch something that I don't know what it is, you know? So especially if I was living in a time period where I don't even know what electronics are or anything like that is.
Have you ever had EVP? What's the best EVP you've ever had?
Oh goodness. I have, this is why I'm not a fan of doing ghost box stuff. Because like I said, I'm clairaudient, so I can hear disembodied voices, but EVPs are my most favorite thing to have. Yeah. And I do have a lot of class A EVPs. If you were to put it into a class, I have one EVP where I was at an inn. It's called the Inn at Lincoln Square. And it was just me and another person at the time. We had the whole entire inn. Now, when I say inn, there was 3 suites in the entire house.
Right.
So it was, the bottom floor was 1 suite. The middle floor was 1 suite. The top floor is a suite.
Right.
There's also 2 townhomes that are attached behind, but it was all empty. And the owners were like, yeah, go ahead, have had it. Investigate all you want. We're like, great. Go in there. We're in our room. We're shutting the lights off. I'm putting stuff up. Lights are going off. And I heard something. And I said, what was that? And the person I was with said, what was what? And then on the recorder, now being clairaudient and not hearing her, I don't know how this works, but it sounded like there was another woman in the room with us. That's how loud her voice was. And she said, are you trying to sleep? Because we were shutting the lights off and da-da-da. We didn't hear it at the time. But she said, are you trying to sleep? Asked us, and we didn't hear it, obviously, at the time. But the fact that we're like turning lights off and doing this and that to me, that makes it intelligent. You know, because we were in our room. It was like, you know, and so that was awesome. And then the other time, you know, near me is the Pine Barrens and, you know, Batstow and Atzion and all this stuff. And we were at Batstow, we were at Atzion Cemetery, and that's back inside the Pine Barrens. And me and my sister and her boyfriend, and I got discombobulated for some reason all of a sudden. It got real dark. It got real dark, and I couldn't figure out what direction what was. So I asked my sister, I said, where's the car at? Nobody answered me. And I said, where's the car at? And she said, it's over there. Well, I got a buzz in my ear, and she said that sounded like somebody fucking coughing. is what she said.
Right.
I listened back, and the first time I said, "Where's the car at?" you hear, "It's over here. That's where I came from." But I didn't hear an answer. So I ask again, "Where's the car at?" And she said, "It's over here." And then you hear me say, "Something buzzed in my ear." Well, actually, you hear this. You hear a noise like that. And I said, "Something just buzzed in my ear." And she said, "That sounded like somebody coughing." When
That's
you hear it,
amazing.
it does sound like somebody coughing. So that's another one of my favorites, because to me, that was very crazy, everything that happened within the little 3-second part of my recorder. So
That is absolutely amazing. I do like EVPs. I must admit, I do like them. Dakota, would you like to ask a couple questions before the end of the show?
Sorry, it was like I heard that voice again, and I swear it's reacting to everything you say, Taryn. It was like, if anybody in the chat or in the podcast hears this, please.
Yeah.
We may be used to weird stuff happening on this show, but we still feel like we're going to end up in a straitjacket. Anyway, so aside from, no, I just lost my question. Damn you, Chris.
On you go. See, this is the fun we have, Taryn. This is the fun.
You have to have fun. You have to have fun.
Yeah. We're laid back, but I'll let my co-host. On you go. You find it?
Yeah. So, kind of going back to people getting the wrong impressions when it comes to like television programs. Mm-hmm. What would be the biggest problem when it comes to the paranormal, in your opinion?
In the paranormal, honestly, there's people that are in this for the wrong reasons, and there's a lot of people that think, there's a competition out there. Somebody's got to be better than the next. The biggest problem is the people that fake stuff. That's the biggest problem. And then it just trickles down from there, because once you have people that believe in the people that fake stuff, they're going to like defend the people that fake stuff, and the people that are saying like, this is wrong, and then everybody wants to be better than the next, and it just keeps on going and going and going, so it's the fakers, that just want to, and the shows, the shows are just, again, aside from Ghost Hunters, because I am a huge fan of Ghost Hunters. I am. But again, even them, they have to do some entertainment stuff. I'm sure that they don't, but they keep it as real as they can. When they investigate, to me, it's the closest to what we do. Except for we don't spend a week somewhere. They do. They're lucky they get to. But
yeah, I would love to spend a week somewhere. Some investigators only get the night. And that's you can
not
go
even.
nothing.
Sometimes you only get like 5 hours.
Yeah, you could go there for 5 hours and nothing will happen.
I know.
And that's what people don't understand. That's what a lot of people. I've bumped into people that watch the ghost hunting shows, and they're like, "Oh, I never seen anything like that." But people don't realize. Like, let's take Ghost Adventures for instance. It's an hour long, right? Mm-hmm. Right, the show is an hour long. You don't realize how long they're at that location. That's what people don't realize. They think they're just there for one night, but that one series that they're watching might be made up out of an entire week, and that's what they don't know.
I know. And then think about like all the stuff they cut out and all the stuff they have to do. You know what I mean? It's when I was at one point when I was with the group I was with originally at the time, Sci-Fi. It was either Sci-Fi, whatever channel Ghost Hunters was on at the time, and this was a while ago. So it was either Sci-Fi or Travel Channel. I feel like it might have been Travel Channel. I'm not sure.
I think it was the Travel.
Sci-Fi
one of them,
originally.
Yeah. So one of them came in they wanted to do a show because the director of my group actually owned a place called the Ghost Hunter Store, and that was in Mount Holly, New Jersey. And they came in and they were like talking about doing a show about the store. And they told him to pick, 10 people to be on the show. Blah, blah, blah. They did. They come out. Now we filmed a lot with them. not a show, but filmed like who we were, where we were from. Like, you see those stupid things that happen before a show, before like the first time it's on. Like, hi, I'm Taryn from New Jersey, and I've been in guest hunting for and everybody like stuff like that. Then we got to the store at one point and we signed stuff and everything. And then another time they came out and they started to say like about the plot of the show. I, at the time, had a boyfriend. They wanted to bring my boyfriend in, and they said that I would be cheating on him with somebody, not in real life, just for the show. I'd be cheating on him. We both worked at we both worked at the store, but I would be cheating on him with like the owner of the store or somebody that worked there, and this would be all behind his back. They wanted to do this plot, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, really? I was like, so everybody's gonna think I'm this big huge slut, basically. I'm like, no. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it.
It's not the cringiest one I've ever heard. There was one casting call I actually got where they were wanting groups to do investigations in their birthday suits. I was like, first off, you clearly haven't paid attention to the people actually in the field. None of these people need to be naked.
Yeah, like who are they going to get to do that?
Like,
oh my God, I just don't know.
Would be interesting though.
Well, if
I'm not gonna lie, I probably would watch. I would watch just to see.
Of course you would. Along with 98% of the women around the world.
I would be watching just in case.
I know.
oh God.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, spring's here and you'll be going ghost hunting soon. You'll be out catching those ghosties, as long as they're nice ghosties. Casper ghosties,
Casper. Yes, Casper.
Yeah, Casper.
Hey, once in a while I'll deal with Slimer. He was cool. He's pretty funny.
He's all right. You want to stay away from the kind of skulls and the red eyes and the big claws and stuff.
Yeah. I don't want any of that.
Yeah. So I would like to thank you for coming on. Paranormal Brew T. Thank you for coming on, and you'll be able to find this on all the networks. And I'm not going to get Dakota to mention them all off again, the 50 locations where this is getting sent up to, because Dakota just outdoes himself every time, But anyway, guys, I would like to thank you all for coming tonight. And thank you again, Tim. And Dakota, would you like to play the new outro? We've got a new outro now.
Yeah, I'll play the outro. But like I said, here, Samuel proves my point. Everybody that we would want to come in comes in right as we're wrapping up.
I know. And please check out Paranormal Brew's channel and give it a
Paranormal Brew. I'm on YouTube and Facebook, Parapost Network and BB3 TV and Unrestricted Paranormal. And I think that's it.
And the links will all be below this live tonight.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
Good night. I'll stop torturing you.